What's up, guys? So, there's a lot that I could talk about today. It seems that the way that things are going as far as the blog posts, I just talked about astral projection and lucid dreams, and I kind of went pretty deep without really talking about um, sleep in the first place. And I think that's a really important topic because for years I would be that guy that's busy, busy, busy all day. Wake up, go to school, you're busy, go to work, come home, you're waiting for that escape of sleep so bad, and you'd end up, or I would end up, just staring at my eyelids for hours. Insomnia is a huge problem in America. People take sleeping pills in order to fall asleep, which have side effects. They're expensive. There's a lot of natural remedies for sleep. People take melatonin, that's like a natural chemical released in your head, but it's still, you're still using a supplement to kind of get you that far in. And I discovered something whenever I got so tired of not sleeping that changed everything for me. For real, all I did was do a little bit of research, and intuitively I asked for the answer of sleep, and I came up with some pretty interesting stuff. So, if you were to be sleeping in a room with somebody, or even like a significant other, and if they fall asleep before you, what you'll notice is that as they drift off into sleep, their breathing pattern becomes very rhythmic, very shallow, and whenever you're falling asleep, typically you're at a conscious, awake state, and you get in bed, you get comfy, and slowly your brain waves slow down, they get longer. You go from conscious waking state to alpha state, which is one state closer to sleep. Then you go beta, delta, and theta. Theta is like the state that whenever you're in meditation, you're trying to reach, which is basically your body is almost, it's so relaxed, it's almost asleep, but your brain is still functioning. So that's when these lucid dreams, that's when some of these astral projection, whenever your body, that's just when your body falls completely asleep and your spirit essentially is able to just lift out of your body and you can go explore since you're conscious. But this is more of just falling asleep. This applies to anybody. If you're not trying to do anything on the spiritual side, even if you just want to, if you're just tired and you're tired of insomnia, this method that I'm about to tell you will put you to sleep. I've tried the binaural beats. You have to wear headphones while you're asleep, and that's uncomfortable for me. Everybody's a little different. If you're into that, go for it. If it works for you, that's awesome. But what I've found is if you listen to somebody that is asleep and you try to mimic their breathing pattern, your body will fall asleep. It's essentially just a trick. The same way that you trick your body into falling asleep while your brain is still awake for lucid dreaming and for astral projection, the same kind of trickery between the mind and the body, which is so obviously incredibly strong, all you have to do is, I call it, honestly, this whole video is called the ocean breath because that's what I call it. I can't find anything that is a better analogy for it, but if you think about the waves of an ocean, imagine just standing on a beach and you're watching these things. I always, for some reason, as I'm falling asleep, I imagine the waves hitting the shore at nighttime because that just kind of puts me to sleep. But whatever your random passing passive thoughts that are constantly running through your head, some people say I can't fall asleep because my mind is going 1,000 miles an hour. So what you got to do is, as you're getting in bed, just, you don't even have to think about this video, but just the ocean breath. Whenever you're like, God, I can't fall asleep, remember the ocean breath. Focus on the waves of an ocean hitting a shore, and as you're imagining the waves of the ocean crashing up against the shore, match your breath to the waves. They are rhythmic, they are shallow, and the pattern that they follow, everybody is slightly different. So if you're listening to a spouse and trying to copy their breath, Sometimes they have smaller lungs than you or bigger lungs than you, and so theirs is going to be a little bit different. So you got to find the right rhythm that your body sleeps at. When you wake up in the morning, first thing, super tired, before you even touch your phone, before anything, even if your phone goes off and you just like hit the snooze and just kind of lay your head back down on your pillow, you'll notice that right then your breathing is so from your diaphragm. I mean, it's right down here in your stomach. It's so from your diaphragm. You're not using your full lung capacity to get these breaths in. It's shallow and it's very rhythmic. If you were to put a stopwatch in between each breath that you're taking, it is very precise. There's obviously some anomalies. As you fall asleep, you'll roll over, you'll take a huge deep breath. Some people do crazy. Some people talk whenever they're asleep. That's fine. That's fine. But the main thing is copying a rhythmic, slow breathing pattern convinces your body that it is asleep or falling asleep, and your brain will follow suit. Promise. I've been using this technique to fall asleep for close to a year now, and I don't want to exaggerate to you guys. I don't want to lie. Everything I say on this blog is as truthful from my heart as I can possibly get it, but I have not, even for a nap, there's no problem falling asleep. Caffeine, I can fall asleep. I have not spent more than 3.5, 4, 5 minutes tops falling asleep for the past year or so. I cannot remember the last night that I laid in bed and stared at my eyelids for hours. I used to do that when I was younger, but honestly, whatever you want to think about, if you're not even thinking about the ocean breath and it's been 20 minutes and you're just like, you know what, I'm really ready to fall asleep, how do I do that? You can try to, even when I was a kid, my mom told me, like, you can't force yourself to fall asleep. Whenever you're thinking about falling asleep, you're going to get farther away from it. But I disagree. She thinks you're just supposed to daydream and not move your body at all. And I was like, Mom, that works, but this is what works for me, and I want you to try this. She tried it. Now she falls asleep every night within 4 or 5 minutes. So, ocean breath, think about a nice, beautiful landscape of some waves crashing against the ocean, and match your breathing pattern to that. Just follow it, nice and rhythmic in and out. And even if you can only think of that for like, 20, 30 seconds, and then you immediately start daydreaming and your thoughts become passive and random again, you have probably already gotten your body to slow its breathing down, get a little bit closer to sleep, and most likely your brainwave state, even if you're only copying that breath for 10-15 seconds, which isn't that much, your brainwave pattern will already be going down through the phases closer to sleep. So just hold on to it for a little bit. You'll get better at it every single night. Even the first night I ever tried just copying somebody that was next to me sleeping, I fell asleep in minutes, and I've never changed it since then, because if it's not broke, you shouldn't fix it. If you guys have any better techniques to just naturally fall asleep whenever you want to, I've heard laying on the grass, letting the ions from the earth balance out the electrons in your body, that works great. Hugging a tree, I heard that balances out your sleep cycles. It can help your brain release more melatonin whenever it's supposed to, more DMT whenever you're dreaming. There's a lot of different techniques, but the ocean breath is by far the best one I've found. I wanted to share it with you guys. So rest easy, have some sweet dreams. Hopefully they're lucid. You guys have any crazy experiences that maybe you want to tell me about while you were lucid? I can go on for days about it, but I would love to hear some stuff that y'all have. And maybe just leave a comment or shoot me an email. I left it in the About Me thing on the side. So just y'all have a blessed day. Namaste, and sleep well.